sometimes wearing Cody and just embracing Cody, which has been a very new experience that me and my partner have discussed for the past few months. We got married this year, actually, and I just found the man of my life, and Cody came together with this idea of experimenting. The whole idea was meeting Folsom Street, which Folsom Street Fair in Berlin, which we didn't really go this year, but hopefully next year we'll be there. And from there, as you see, I love researching. And so the fetish around the muscle cubs and being a cub, I keep joking with my husband that I do love a man with a belly. And I just love the whole natural, whatever you are and whatever you express yourself and that confidence. I love Brazilian singers, for example, around the reggaeton idea or the funk idea, like Anita, and she's very expressive. I don't know if you heard of her, Anita. She's very been into the Latin community. So fetish came to me naturally through photography. Let me know if I'm talking too much. So photography, I'm trying to see how far I can say things. So this is the first time for me. But through photography, I have photographed mostly, sexual content. I was always behind the camera. And I've learned so much. I photographed porno actors in the past, and I thought myself, well, maybe, but not really. I wouldn't. And then, you reach a point that you're just like, life is short, and we want to buy a house and grow together, and that's how I am today, right now.
Cody, I love I love that you're talking, because that's exactly what this is. It's a conversation. We're going to go back and forth. I love that you're talking about this, because a lot of men that I've seen online, like, they like the whole cub idea, but they don't really understand the mentality behind it. Because you're saying, you said, like, I like what you said. You said, I've done photography work, adult photography work for a long time. And then, it kind of helped Cody forge, it helped Cody become. So tell me, if a person is a muscle pup, what does that entail? Like, what is that, like, mentally, what does that entail? Like, because you said, I had to put him together. So mentally, what do you have to do? Like, mentally, what traits do you need? And, like, how do you go about that?
Well, that's a very interesting question, actually. You got my brain working and clicking around. So, literally, I would share my perspective, to be honest, and based on what I've read and based on what I feel. I guess being a cub or a pup, the whole community, the Leatherman community, which I've been very interested in researching lately, especially the pup community. So some people would call the furry group. There is a whole expansion understanding right now. It's just the idea of being whoever you want to be. So starting with the whole idea of being a cub or being a pup, it's just, I look at myself in the mirror, and as a black man, and for many black men out there, I'd say, I didn't have a great relationship when I was younger with myself. And it took time to build up and learn that this is who I am. And I do like going to the gym. It's a byproduct in the side, and I like movement, and I used to dance. So pretty much I am a byproduct of what I've been living for the past 2 years, and I just enjoy other men that enjoy their life in different shapes and forms. And when they wear the mask, and I look at that person and they're just in the free spirit, just you don't really need to know. I think the fact that you can see my eyes says a lot in that sense. Being a cub is just embracing your shapes and your forms and liking who you are.
You know what? That's so amazing. And I'm gonna say that, because that's what I brought you on for. Ironically, I see it, well, not ironically, but there's a lot, like, especially men of color. I do a lot of interviews and I do a lot of work with men of color. We didn't really know the whole origin behind being a pup or a cub. But damn it, all of us want one. Like, it's so true. Like, all of us want one. Cody, this is one of those things I always like. It's so weird, because not really knowing it and planning to research it, I've always like, oh, I need a muscle pup. I need a muscle pup. Because, because things aren't always what they seem.
Okay.
I was talking to my best friend the other night, and we were talking about my life, and how I started as a young gay, because I too grew up in the early 80s, and it's into the late 80s. I'm 41 years old. I actually just turned 41 in September. So
Oh, happy birthday!
thank
Late happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be this age. I'm so happy to be
I
this
can.
age because I believe in growth and development. So
Mhm.
I believe I'm old enough to know better. And I also believe that I'm too old a cat for a kitten to scratch.
No,
Yeah.
I don't
So
think so.
that's, yeah. No, but in exploring myself, I've always been attracted to what's kind of like not the norm. There are things about it that are normal, meaning he's got to be muscular. Like it's got to be muscular. Like I need him to be muscular. But I also noticed this, Cody. Is it safe to say that a lot of the pups or a lot of the cubs, they're more submissive?
Yes, that's a great question. Ashley, that's something. Okay, we tapped in something that is more towards the adult content that I learned. So let's say I don't know if I should throw it out there, but in the past I had this amazing photo shoot where I photographed Francois Sagat. I don't know if you heard
Yes.
of him.
Love him.
Yeah. So and I had the chance to talk to him and actually get to know him in person, and he didn't have any shame in being submissive, and I had the chance to actually film as well in an open, more like a party state. And the same thing, he was so comfortable, and I had the chance to make him. He probably doesn't remember me. That's been years ago here in Dublin. It was for a nightclub that doesn't exist anymore. That's how long I've been here. So yeah, so I used to do content for them and creating all this content, and I just was maybe ashamed of being submissive
Yeah.
at some point. It's just a position that you put yourself in, like, why do I like that? Why do I feel at ease? But when I trust my partner or when I trust someone into a sexual relationship and I actually give myself in full, it's I'm gifting you with the fact that I'm trusting you to,
Yes.
pleasure yourself in something that is my temple, but at the same time, I can disconnect myself from my reality and, for some, as weird as it sounds, just embrace a little bit of peace, just being at the moment. And yeah, being submissive for me is just the fact of clicking in, tapping in a point where I experience this very carnal or this very present moment. And it's something that brings me enjoyment. And I know it sounds very odd for many people, but it does.
No, 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 no. It doesn't sound odd at all because that's why I brought you on. First of all, you're beautiful. And secondly, uh, we want to know. Like we want to know because get it, I've seen muscle pups online. Oh God. And get it, it's the submission for me. And that's why I'm saying it because, people know this about me. I say it all the time. They're like, I wish this bitch would stop saying it, but I say it all the time. I'm a blouse. So even though I'm effeminate, I'm a very dominant personality. And you know what's so crazy, Cody? It's not that I have a problem submitting. It has to be the right circumstance and it cannot be for a long time. like like it really is, like you have to catch me in the moment because get this, I'm gonna go there. So you talked about finding yourself and expressing yourself. When I first started my journey into being an African American effeminate gay man, a lot of, at that time, gay boy, because it's like what, 19, but like a lot of men that were older than me, had more muscles than I did, basically wore the pants. They just expected and assumed me to be the submissive partner. They assumed that I was the girl. And what was so hard about that, Cody, is I looked like the girl, but I'm not the girl.